It's Thursday, February 27. In the headlines, $98.9 million collected in National Water Commission's amnesty program. In business news, Dolphin Cove parent company declares insolvency. Regionally, the legendary Treaty of Chaguaramas will be amended, and Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, to step down on March 16. In sports, ISA addresses concerns over track readiness for boys and girls champs. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The National Water Commission's amnesty program has raked in $98.9 million in additional revenue. Portfolio Minister Matthew Samuda gave an update during Wednesday's post-cabinet press brief. The program is a 3-month olive branch to indebted customers that started in January.
As at Friday of last week, we have engaged with some 10,116 persons who are seeking to benefit from the amnesty. We can report that already 1,674 customers have been fully reconnected, and a further 2,489 are approved for reconnection, and that will happen over the next 2 weeks.
NWC customers who are pensioners who have been disconnected for 2 years, people trying to transfer land titles, and customers who have been disconnected for longer than 6 months are eligible for the amnesty.
What this means is that the Water Commission has written off the debts or the arrears up to $238 million for customers, a debt that was largely uncollectible and that was affecting thousands of households.
More than 100 residents of Stanton Housing Scheme and Stony Gut in St. Thomas now have potable water. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony for the water upgrade recently, Portfolio Minister Matthew Samuda says the project cost about $8 million and there's more work to be done.
The scope of the issue in this general area, because yes, today is an $8 million investment, and yes, a few hundred of our nearest and dearest citizens are benefiting. But the scale of the issue in this area is approximately $500 million. Now, the pre-feasibility work, meaning the soil tests and determining which pipe where and where additional tanks need to be put in place, is not going to come underway, is underway now. So we are doing the designs for that system now.
He says other systems are set to be constructed in the parish.
We expect that throughout the course of this budget year, close to $200 million of work will take place in this general area to supply some 6,000 citizens of St. Thomas who deserve their potable water.
Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Western, James Robertson, says the system will make a great difference, as it has been a long time coming.
I must say, as a Member of Parliament, we have struggled with this system and the difference you have made now. There are young men out there around us with a lot of gray hair. I have none. A lot of gray hair who used to walk, cut, clean, and try to get this water system going and to keep it going. And I must say thank you to them.
Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Eastern, Dr. Michelle Charles, says the project shows the government's commitment to ensuring that Jamaicans have access to what she describes as a basic human right.
We have a government that cares, and the Stanton and Spring Garden Water Supply Improvement Project is a testament of our government's commitment to providing our communities with the resources they need to thrive. This project would undoubtedly have a profound impact on the lives of the residents in this area, improving their access to clean water, enhancing the quality of life, and fostering economic growth.
The Education Minister is pushing for legal changes to give the ministry more authority in school disputes. This comes after a leadership clash at St. James High forced classes to shut down for 2 days. Danita Rodney reports.
Classes at St. James High were suspended indefinitely on Tuesday amid tensions surrounding the reappointment of board chairman Christopher McCurdy. Reports indicate that tensions escalated after Principal Joseph Williams allegedly blocked Mr. McCurdy from entering the school compound for a meeting. Addressing the issue at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon expressed disappointment over the situation.
And I will say what happened on this week was very, very disappointing. And our students are our priority. And for us as a government, the education of our students is number one. And when you have your students not able to go to school because of the internal politics in a school, it is a problem.
Minister Morris-Dixon says there is now a need to review the regulations to give the ministry more power to intervene in school disputes.
We feel that we have to look at the legislation. We have to look also at the regulations, because I know I was on the Education Transformation Commission, and from then we had said that the law and also the regulations, they don't give enough power for stepping in. And that is something that we're going to have to address, because what happened is unacceptable this week.
She emphasized that while conflicts may arise, they should never come at the expense of students.
There was a series of meetings that we had. We had meetings with the chair, we had meetings with the teachers and other concerned individuals, and went through all of the issues, all of the interpersonal issues. But interpersonal issues should never lead to students not going to school. And we feel very strongly about this.
The Education Minister says the ministry must now intervene earlier in similar disputes to prevent disruptions.
The ministry will have to intervene earlier in some of these matters. We may have been late in terms of intervention, but I'm saying to you as Minister of Education, these things cannot continue. And I don't think anyone in Jamaica watching that video felt good about those actions. And our students deserve to be at school, not being deprived of education because of internal politics.
Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
Jamaica's public health sector is going digital, and a key part of that transformation is the new electronic health record system. This technology promises faster, more efficient care by streamlining patient information. We learn more in this JIS feature.
The digital transformation of Jamaica's public health sector is progressing, and a key component is the implementation of an electronic health record EHR system.
Electronic Health Record System, System 1, or SI for short. When the patient comes for registration process, we would input the data on S1, and then this data will come around to wherever the doctor is or the nurse is. So they do not need to be waiting on health records to go and retrieve the paper record to bring to them. And if the patient comes with any investigation with the blood results, X-ray, any form of laboratory results or any external result, we would upload those at the time of registration. So when they come to the doctor and the nurse, the information is readily available.
Doctors will be able to see diagnostic scans on their computers and tablets remotely.
Right, and it also allows multiple persons to be retrieving the data simultaneously, or we can do data entry simultaneously.
You can actually measure time from arrival to time of triage, and thereafter every interaction with every member of staff is actually timed. So it is good for tracking, whereas the previous system, if the doctor or the nurse never actually wrote the time that they were seeing, it doesn't get tracked as easily.
It's a shift from paper-based health records management that is allowing improved patient care coordination, enhanced data accuracy, and better decision-making by medical personnel.
Names come up on the system, and as they are seen, there's a color change, so you know which one is seen by the nurse, which one is already seen by the doctor, which one is discharged. So each one of those, if there's no color change, you know that person has not yet been seen. So in terms of efficiency, that's excellent.
The EHR is being implemented by the Ministry of Health as part of the Health Systems Strengthening Project, valued at over $5 million. The EHR allows for not just patient registration, but also appointment scheduling and patient assignment in the triage process.
I know that for the outpatients department, definitely throughput is much faster, and the chances of people getting missed or neglected in the clinic is almost nil now.
The system, which is intended to go island-wide, is being initially rolled out in 13 health facilities over an 18-month period. Maypen Hospital was the first to operationalize the electronic health record system.
The reason why we were the first, I think, is because we were the most ready to receive and accept such a new system.
The first phase rollout will also include the Chapelton, Spanish Town, and St. Anne's Bay hospitals, as well as the Maypen West, Maypen East, and St. Jago health centers.
A patient arrived in the accident and emergency department and wasn't able to give adequate information. This patient was just being treated next door by the St. Jago Park Health Center, and we were able to pull up that information and to continue care. And so we are at a good place in public health. We are exciting, and I'm sure that the patient will get timely medical care.
As a nurse in charge of the labor ward, for me, I have my 24-hour reports on a daily basis, and I am able to get the information at the end of the day for each client. Easy accessible, one click away.
The island-wide rollout will network more than 2,000 computers and 400 plus medical-grade tablets that provide universal access to medical records. The electronic health record platform is based on the philosophy of one patient, one record, and is part of the plan for improving efficiency in access to medical services.
And what that means is that whatever data that is inputted concerning the patient when they come to see a doctor at a health center or hospital in this case, that data is pulled up based on their unique identification number. And you immediately know the history of the patient and therefore all the factors that may influence a treatment regime in a much quicker way.
With EHR, there is no challenge with locating your health records, and so care is timely and on point.
Data for the EHR is stored securely on multiple servers, and only authorized persons are allowed access.
The confidentiality of the patient's record is actually critical. So it's not like anybody can get anybody's record at any time. There has to be special permission from the medical records department to actually release the notes, and then that's the only way we can access it.
The system is expected to accrue significant savings of time and cost on tests that won't have to be repeated. The data generated will also assist in the formulation of better evidence-based policy making and program design by the government.
Regarding the staff, if you ask any of them if they want to go back to the paper system, you get a resounding no. They do not want to go back to the paper system.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Dolphin Discovery, the Mexico-based parent company of Dolphin Cove Limited in Jamaica, has initiated voluntary proceedings under Mexico's concurso mercantil process, a corporate restructuring and insolvency procedure under Mexican law. In a press release to the Jamaican Stock Exchange, Dolphin Cove Limited Jamaica states that operations continue unaffected and the company will maintain its independent operational status. The board will continue to monitor the situation and make further disclosures on the legal status of its Mexican parent company's insolvency proceedings as required. MasterCard is partnering with NCB Jamaica to support unbanked, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises across the island. Investment and Commerce Minister Aubin Hill made the announcement at the recently held MSME Business Roadshow in Clarendon. It aims to provide unbanked merchants with access to secure and reliable payment platforms, enabling them to participate fully in the digital economy and expand their customer base to include international visitors. The minister disclosed that MasterCard will provide smartphones to merchants who do not already own one. These devices will be equipped with NCB's payment platform, enabling merchants to seamlessly accept electronic payments. The funds from these transactions will be securely deposited into the merchant's NCB account. For the trading period ending February 26, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Beverage manufacturer Jamaican Teas Limited with 21,747,628 units traded, representing 32.88% of market sales volume. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 6,733,558 units traded, representing 10.18% of market sales volume. International logistics and shipping conglomerate Kingston Wharves Limited with 5,921,003 units traded, representing 8.95% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On February 26, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $67.98 million purchased and US $81.62 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.19 per dollar, selling the US at $157.96 and buying the US at $156.77. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.11 per transaction, with selling at $110.56 and buying at $109.45. The British pound yielded Forex traders $1.56 in profits, with selling at $200.09 and buying at $198.53. For our credit report tip of the day, as a freelancer or gig worker, covering the cost of higher education for your children can feel like an uphill battle, especially without a traditional salary. But there's the good news. Your credit score can be a powerful tool to access funding, lower costs, and find creative solutions that make college more affordable. If your challenge is that you need a lump sum for tuition, then the solution is, if you're a homeowner, a home equity loan can provide lower interest borrowing option. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
Changes are coming to the legendary Treaty of Chaguaramas. Speaking at a CARICOM meeting, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, revealed plans to allow some member states to move forward on regional matters without full consensus. He also stressed the importance of CARICOM's freedom of movement and regional food security. Terrianne Brown-Campbell has the details.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said last week at the Caribbean Community's Heads of Government meeting in Barbados, the decision was taken to make a change to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Signatories of the treaty signed in Chaguaramas in 1973 were Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. The agreement was designed to promote regional economic integration, foreign policy coordination, human and social development, as well as security for the people of the region. In 1989, the treaty was revised to improve standards of living and work. Dr. Rowley said this proposed amendment will be to the clause that says all CARICOM countries have to agree on regional decisions.
But to say that on matters where some countries are ready to go forward and others are not ready, that small subgroup that is ready to go forward must be allowed to go forward within the ambit of the revised treaty.
The Prime Minister revealed that there was one territory where there are already more foreign nationals in the country than citizens.
And that is why we have gone to revise the treaty, to allow the good of the freedom of movement. And I'm saying here to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, from the private sector, the public sector, we at CARICOM must support the freedom of movement within CARICOM if we are to get the benefit of such a decision and of such a market.
Dr. Rowley noted that the move toward food security for the region is also on the regional and local agenda. He said an area of food security will soon become available.
South America is our backyard. Once that road is built in Guyana, the Brazilians are there. South America is available as a source. But we would need to do our part. We need to have proper marine transport from a port in Guyana to a port in Trinidad. And once that is done, a new umbilical cord would have been raised.
The Prime Minister made his comments at a sod-turning ceremony in Point Lisas for the Nutrimix animal feed and pet food plant. Terry-Ann Brown-Campbell, TTT News.
At the recent 48th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, in Barbados, Guyana's President Irfan Ali announced the extension of the region's ambitious 25 by 25 food security goals to 2030, with additional resilient and sustainable goals.
Guyana's President Irfan Ali described the current period in CARICOM as critical, not just from a trade and geopolitical standpoint, but also regarding food production, food security, and rising food prices. During the recent Heads of Government meeting in Barbados, President Ali spoke about the rise in global prices for cereals, meat, and dairy, among other food items last year. This year also presents additional concerns with increased climate-related challenges, rising transportation and logistics costs, and uncertainties in tariffs and trade rules. All of this will directly influence food costs both globally and within the Caribbean.
If Brazil become affected, then we will have major problems in terms of prices and supply. So you would not only have a price problem.
To navigate these mounting challenges, the Caribbean must adopt a strategic approach, President Ali stated, and announced the expansion of the 25 by 2025 initiative to 2030. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture identified 6 projects to support the expansion: building capacity for Caribbean agriculture extension services, enhancing adaptive capacity of coastal communities, and establishment of a digital fabrication lab, diversifying the Caribbean fruit crop industry, and a bioeconomic model in organic waste management, and finally, improve water security and climate resilience.
So as a result of this holistic approach, we will now be expanding the focus to achieving not only food security, but resilience, sustainability, and enhanced technology with greater participation among women and youth by 2030. So we're adding some additional goals. We are successful in expanding production, notwithstanding hurricanes, storms, floods, all of which destroy production and our productive capacity. But our farmers, our policymakers would have shown tremendous resilience.
The 2030 Food Security Agenda will also incorporate a tech-driven agricultural sector and includes greater participation from women and young people. For Newsroom, Isanalo Patwo.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has set his departure date. He announced on Wednesday that he will officially leave office on Sunday, March 16. The revelation came as he spoke at the commissioning ceremony for the Lisa Morris Julian Boulevard in Arima.
Since December, when Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley indicated he would resign from his post, many have been waiting to hear when his last day in office will be. As he gave the feature address at the commissioning ceremony to rename the O'Meara Road in Arima to the Lisa Morris Julian Boulevard, the Prime Minister revealed the date.
We will have the Central Block on the 10th of March. And of course, on the 15th of March, we will take completion of the construction of the Tobago Airport Terminal building. And as we do that, I leave you on the 16th of March as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Prime Minister highlighted some of his administration's accomplishments, noting that when his team took up the mantle to run the country, the oil and gas market was in a major slump.
It has not been easy, but with the dedication that we have built the foundation with, we in Trinidad and Tobago can continue to look ahead at what we can do to make our country more efficient, to make our lives more comfortable, and to promote our country as a place to do business.
Meanwhile, Minister of Works and Transport Rohan Sinanan noted that more than 7,000 infrastructure projects have been completed over the 9-year period.
But I must say, the ministry still has a lot of work to do, and I think under Minister Young, over the next 5 years, a lot will be accomplished. I thank you for this morning, and may we all continue to remember that stalwart, that workhorse, that humble Member of Parliament, Ms. Lisa Morris Julian. Thank you.
Dr. Rowley and the People's National Movement have endorsed Minister of Energy and Energy Industries Stuart Young for the role as the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. When sworn in, he will be the country's 8th Prime Minister.
In sports, we lead off with athletics. The Inter-Secondary Schools Sports Association, ISA, says it's committed to holding the Boys and Girls Athletics Championships on its original start date, March 25, at the National Stadium. But, according to President Keith Wellington, a decision about a potential postponement may need to be made over the weekend. His comment follows Sports Minister Olivia Grange's confirmation that the track at the National Stadium would be resurfaced after signing a $55.1 million contract with track manufacturers Riccarton. The work is now set to begin this week, and there have been concerns that the work will not be completed in time for Champs, which is just under 4 weeks away. Mr. Wellington says his team is monitoring the situation closely. Over now to football. The Reggae Boys are ready to take on St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the CONCACAF Gold Cup prelims. The boys will take on the first match in St. Vincent on March 21, before taking them on again at the office on March 25. Match time is set for 7 p.m. And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platform at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.